Welcome to Taiwan Report News Brief, news and analysis from Taichung, Taiwan. I'm Donovan Smith. All right, up on the program, we've got some good news for lovers of organic food from America. The MOI has some good ideas on changes to Taiwan's election laws, but some bad ones on visa overstayers. Changing the names of China Airlines and on passports looks set to move forward in the legislature. And finally, Wang Jin-pyng drops a couple of bombshells, and Hou You-y says something very in character and very crafty. And of course, up first, coronavirus updates. The Food and Drug Administration has approved a domestically developed and produced antibody reagent for COVID-19, the first of its kind licensed in Taiwan. The antibody reagent will help researchers determine how many people have been infected by the coronavirus in a bid to better understand the real extent of infection in Taiwan during the pandemic. People using Taipei Mass Rapid Transit, the Taipei Metro, and public bus services will no longer be required to wear face masks all the time when they are at stations in metro cars or buses from June 7th. The easing of mask control measures will be simultaneously implemented in New Taipei, Keelung, and Taoyuan to form a zone defense against the coronavirus. In business updates, the value of credit card transactions declined to $206.2 billion in April, down 20% from a year earlier, and the biggest drop in 11 years. In other news, the USDA, the United States Department of Agriculture, has announced a new U.S.-Taiwan equivalence arrangement effective May 30th, 2020, that streamlines organic trade with Taiwan. The arrangement allows organic products certified in the United States or Taiwan to be sold as organic in either market. It also eliminates the need for organic producers and processors to have separate organic certification to the U.S. and Taiwan standards, avoiding a double set of fees, inspections, and paperwork. Taiwan's Ministry of the Interior on Thursday proposed wide-ranging changes to the nation's election laws with provisions aimed at stamping out disinformation and foreign political interference. The ministry said it had drafted amendments to a total of 112 articles, which it divided into 5 categories. Changes in the first category would require all political ads on the internet, television, and other media to include a disclaimer identifying the group or individuals behind it, as well as those providing the funding. Additionally, they would authorize the Central Election Commission to set regulations on political ad content and the keeping of political ad records. The revisions would also ban foreign entities from purchasing political ads and create a mechanism for political figures to report ads containing false content and have them removed. Second, the ministry proposed strengthening deterrence against election-related gambling offenses. Third, the proposals would set up a system allowing people running for public office to collect signatures for their candidate petitions electronically. Fourth, the ministry said it would seek to allow political parties to hold a televised presentation of their campaign platforms for the election of at-large and overseas compatriot legislators. Holding a platform presentation or even debate for the parties putting forward an at-large legislator list would give a wider spectrum of parties more public exposure, the ministry noted. Finally, the reforms would grant voting rights to those under court-ordered declarations of guardianship due to their cognitive or psychological disabilities. Overall, these proposals seem pretty good. However, lest we think that the Ministry of Interior is all cuddly and nerdy and focused on election law, they will soon offer rewards to snitches of up to 20,000 NT for information leading to the arrest of foreign nationals who have overstayed their visas. The MOI said the new rewards soon will be officially rolled out will include 2,000 NT for information that leads to the arrest of one overstayer, 5,000 if it leads to the arrest of 4 to 6 overstayers, and the reward rises to 10,000 for the arrest of 7 to 9, and is 20,000 for 10 or more foreign nationals who've overstayed their visas. The MOI's announcement was made with a 3-month amnesty program for foreign nationals who have overstayed their visas, set to expire at the end of this month. Now, using payments to snitches is widely used in Taiwan. It saves the police from having to actually find these people themselves, which of course saves money. But it has some nasty side effects. One official in Taipei accidentally said the truth once when questioned about how people could identify people littering cigarette butts so they could collect their snitch fees. The official's response was, "Turn in your friends, family, and coworkers." Another problem with this is it doesn't address the source of the problem. The vast majority of workers who overstay or jump their visas do so because they are underpaid, not paid at all, or to escape abuse. Mostly, they take low-paid, difficult jobs that Taiwanese don't want, such as picking tea in Nantou. The ones that engage in illegal activity are few, and it is usually in areas like illegal logging. Almost none actually want to be illegal. The money used for the snitch fees would be better spent on more staff to handle the sources of the problem. That would help to keep the workers legal, would help them live happier lives while contributing to Taiwan's economy and society, which in turn means better word of mouth about Taiwan in the countries they come from. According to a local media report, Legislative Speaker Hou You-y has revealed that the DPP caucus is planning to submit a draft law proposal on name rectification for China Airlines and passports in the next legislative session, and could be submitted as soon as June 16th for a first reading. Another local media report on comments by former Speaker of the Legislature Wang Jin-pyng and new Taipei Mayor Hou You-y caught my eye. But first, a little context. In 2018, a little-known nobody was exiled to Kaohsiung to run for mayor, which at the time everybody thought was totally hopeless because the city was seen as deeply pro-DPP or pro-Green. This might have even been a punishment for having the temerity to challenge Wu Duanyi for the KMT party chair, which Han tried. Meanwhile, the wily Wang Jin-pyng had been quietly touring the countryside, uniting the normally fractious local patronage factions. Wang, who was from a local Kaohsiung patronage faction, threw his weight behind Han and took him under his wing. A long story short, the Wang and Han team created a populist Han wave, strongly backed by the patronage factions, that saw Han not only win Kaohsiung, but the KMT in a general sweep of much of the nation in the 2018 local elections. KMT Chair Wu was largely sidelined, outmaneuvered by Wang. Then, in early 2019, Wang launched his presidential campaign as he was riding high, hoping to be the KMT's candidate in the January 2020 race. However, Wu had a trick up his sleeve and even repeatedly changed the primary rules to make it happen. He convinced Han Kuo-yu to run for president. Han eventually accepted, and Wu had his revenge on Wang by getting Han to stab him in the back. Han went on to be crushed in a landslide, and tomorrow is facing a recall vote which may strip him of his post as mayor. Unsurprisingly, a pissed-off Wang had not been supportive during the presidential race, but what would he say about the recall? The other day he said, more diplomatically, "Of course, I hope he can do a good job and finish his term." However, in a later report, he was quoted as saying, and I'm translating here for about how it would sound in English, not word accuracy here, the only way out of this crisis for him is to grovel before the people of Kaohsiung. He later claimed that the press had leaked a private conversation. Yeah, right. Not Wang. He's the master of this sort of thing, and this is intentional. Right on the eve of the recall vote, he delivers a gut punch. But wait, that's not all. Also, in this so-called personal conversation that mysteriously found its way into the media was another bombshell. He also disclosed that the crotchety old deep green Taiwan independence supporter and billionaire Gu Quanmin had suggested to Wang he start a new political party. According to Wang, Gu told him he thought the chances of the KMT reviving were not high, but he wanted a revival and suggested Wang start a new party. Now, there's a lot to unpack here. Gu, his English name is spelled Koo, is the type that is unhappy with President Tsai's more moderate stance on sovereignty. He's also been supportive of trying to start a new deep green political party with no success so far. That he would be supportive of Wang is very interesting, if Wang is telling the truth about this. Wang has never said anything that suggested he was pro-independence, though it has been widely assumed he's more pro-Taiwan than the KMT elites. So it could simply be that Gu is hoping for a democratic bounce to the DPP and trusts native Taiwanese Wang more than the traditional KMT elites. Or Gu could know something about Wang that we don't. Then, why would Wang leak this? Probably to hint to the KMT that he's not a spent force. Him starting a new party could be a problem for the KMT. While no longer as powerful as he once was, he still has considerable contacts and supporters. Such a new party could go nowhere, but if the KMT continues to melt down and can't find a way to handle their crushing financial situation, Wang's new party could provide a welcome alternative for defectors. And unlike the big egos James Song dominating the People's First Party and Ko Wen-je dominating the Taiwan People's Party, Wang is a low-key operator, very skilled at working with people and making deals. He knows when and how to let other people shine. My take is he's probably not seriously planning to start a new party. Not right now, at least, but I'll bet he's given it a lot of thought. Most likely, this is a shot across the bow to the KMT to remind them to take him seriously. He could be planning a run for KMT chair next May, and he did so once in 2005, so we know he wants the job. But maybe not. This is something to pay close attention to. Meanwhile, the same report also had comments by new Taipei Mayor Hou You-y, who is right now by far the KMT's most popular figure. He said that now that Han and his team were doing their job, he supported Han. Now, Hou and Han were both elected in the same KMT wave, both took office on December 25th, 2018. However, by late spring of 2019, Han was effectively campaigning for president, and formally so by early summer. Hou, at the time, had little to say on the matter, keeping out of the primary. After Han won the primary, he began to campaign, holding rallies and events, but Hou refused to show up to show support, even when it was right near Hou's office in Banqiao. The reason? Hou said, "I'm too busy doing my job as mayor." Ouch, that was a serious slap in the face. The real reason is almost certainly that he saw the writing on the wall and didn't want to associate himself with Han because he reckoned Han was going to lose, and badly. Only near the very end of the campaign did Hou finally relent and appear on stage with Han, wearing a fixed, uncomfortable grin. The reason he finally did that, and the reason he is now showing some tepid support for Han, is likely the same. If Hou is going to run for KMT chair or president in the future, and right now he's the only truly viable choice in the KMT, he's going to need the support of Han's army of fans. So tomorrow is the Han recall, and I've put up some handy reference links for you on report.tw, including a live results tracker, so you might want to check that out. Hit like and subscribe, and be sure to tune in tomorrow.
This has been brought to you by the Taiwan Report. For more content like this, become our patron at report.tw.
哎呦，就是那个台湾狗啦，最喜欢我的台湾狗了。